Good day. My name's Peter Jordan, and again, I've got Chanel with me. And, and Chanel, we are going to be working on the last leg of the feelings. And in this leg, it's all about developing a feelings dictionary in you and in everybody, okay, to be able to understand us and our feelings and what is happening on the inside of us. And in order for us to get it, there's a certain process that we need to go through. And, I've tried many different kinds of methodologies to teach feelings. And this one that we're going to work with is the one that I have found that gives the most impact, that has the most impact, and that it provides or it will give you, okay, the way that it works is if you put effort into it of 1, then you get 1 out. If you put effort in of 2, then you get 4 out. If you put effort into it of 3, then you get 9 out. If you put the effort of 4 in, you get 16 out. Okay, so the more effort that you put into this thing, the bigger is the reward that you are going to get. And it's not a if, it's not a maybe, it is something that you will see, and it works. Okay, so let's kick off a little bit. So we have discussed now many issues around feelings. And although it's not exhaustive, because the feelings world is a massive world, and there are many different kinds of feelings books that are around. And I would encourage everybody that's watching this to be able to go to the bookstore or to Amazon and go and find books on feelings on there. There are many wonderful books that are there. There's one of my more favorite books is that is written, it's called Feelings Never Die. And it's true. There's that whatever the blockages, and we saw that in previous sessions that we've done, is that these pesky little things, these feelings, okay, these blockages that we all have, they never die, and they wait patiently for us to come and to deal with them. But in order to do that, there's a certain language skill that we need to be able to do that. And so this is now going to be the language skill that I'm going to talk to you about. This is a very important part of your development, and to take this and to explore it. You can also explore it through books, the internet, and perhaps even support groups. Or what my favorite thing is try and do this exercise with your partner, okay? Because when you do this, you are going to be amazed at what it is that you learn about you and your partner and what your partner learns about you. And you will see that in this discussion between the two of you, how much closer it is that the two of you become one thing. And it's a really, really wonderful exercise to do between couples. Now remember, it is that you are learning about feelings. Okay, it is not that there is something wrong with you. It is merely that you need to develop the skill and the knowledge of feelings within you. And that's all that it is. Okay, don't make it a big deal. Don't make it a huge mountain, and certainly don't make it as though there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with any of you. Everybody has got the ability to understand their feelings. It's just the skill that you need. It's like you go through school to learn different kinds of skill. This is the same skill, except there's no schooling involved. You have to school yourself. And that's all. Okay, so we start off with what I want you to do. Now I want you to get yourself a feelings book. Now some people use a book other people use a file. Okay, I would say get like an A5 book or a file, something like this. Okay, where it is, and this will be your feelings book. How you will use it is that you would take just one page of this book. So you take sort of, a page like this, and it is on the top of the page, you will put a feeling. Now, further on in this document, and this document that I'm busy talking to now is something that would be available to you on a PDF that you will be able to download from my website, and I'll put a link in it below, so that anybody who's gone through this thing can actually just go to the website and then download this thing, and then everything that I'm talking to you about in this session will be on there. So you don't have to take any notes, you don't have to do anything, you just have to just listen. And for you
what
to
is
understand, it will be called Developing Your Feelings Intelligence. But it's it'll be on a link below, and it'll be there. So okay. So in this book you'll have one page per feeling. Okay, on there, and I'm going to ask you to work systematically through the various tables below that's in this document. And there are basically three tables. The first table is the one that are the words that we generally use. The second table is, and the first table is about, I forget now, about, it must be about 15 or 20 words that we generally use. Okay, and then in the next table there's about 60 or so words, maybe a bit more. Actually, I think 60 to 90 words of different feelings that are in there, and there's positive feelings, negative feelings, neutral feelings, different words of describing when you are angry, when you're not angry, when you're frustrated, etc., etc. Okay, so you can understand a lot of the emotions in there and what are different kinds of words that would mean there. So all of these things, each word in this table, you put onto one page. Okay, so it's one page per word. So let me rather put it that way. So the idea is that you would go to the internet or go to a dictionary. You write the word at the top of your page, then you go to the dictionary, and then you'll see that there's a whole definition of this word, or in one of the internet dictionaries there is there. And then you take this word and you write it down with all its various definitions. Okay, so there would be the word which we're going to use, the word disappoint, and it's going to have various definitions on there. And then what you do is you take each definition separately below, and then you write a story, just a 3 or 4 line story about this definition on it. So I will explain that a little bit later. So I'm also going to ask you, as a minimum, to work with only one feeling per day. Okay, you can do more if you want. And try and make it at the same time each day that you work with. So for instance, if you wake up in the morning and you're having your morning coffee, then choose one word and you sit and you do this exercise while you're drinking your coffee, okay, in the morning. Now, when you do that, just one word a day, then after a month, you've done 30 words. And then after 2 months, you've done 60 words. And after 3 months, you've done 90 words. Okay. After a year, if you do that, 365 words, then you have almost gone through the entire feelings list. And believe you me, by the time you get to the end of the year, you are going to be feeling eloquent on a scale you could never believe. In fact, many clients say to me, it is that I've got no idea how I managed to get through school without knowing all of these things. Okay. So I don't want you to make this a burden. Okay, I want you to make it rather a fun event. So if you and your partner are doing it, so let's say that you put all the kids to bed, and now you say, okay, we're now going to work with this word just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and you do this exercise between each other. Hey, it leads to lots of wonderful things, okay? And particularly as you now start to get much closer in feelings and feeling exchanges, then don't be surprised if another little baby comes along the way, okay, on the thing. So that's what happens, okay, because this feelings connection helps between the two of you. It brings you that much closer on things, okay. If you struggle to do this, say perhaps you have to do it on your own, then ask for help this way, okay, to your guides and everybody else to work with you in your feelings, and for you to get a comprehensive idea about feelings. And you know, when you ask for help there this way, they will drop into you inspirations of different kinds of things that you can write about or that you can understand about. So because for them, they really, really, really want you to get a good handle on your feelings on that. Because once you can do that, it opens you up to so much more, and you can achieve so much more in life. Okay, one thing. So I've spoken about the tables. So I want to jump into it now on the first page, and we're going to, from table 1, we're going to use the word disappoint. But before I do that, I actually want to explain to you what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. So when it is that we were learning to read, okay, the teacher put up a little flashcard or something, and on this flashcard she put a certain kind of letter or something, okay, on there. So let's say it was the letter C, and they would say to you that this is a K, okay, and then they put up another letter there, and this is an A, and this is what you say, this is the symbol of what an A looks like, and then this is a, and then they put another one up there, and this is the symbol, and this symbol means it's a T. Okay, and so now we take all of these things and we put them together. Now remember, all of this is from the subconscious. The subconscious is that you took this in, the letter C, the letter A, and the letter B, and then you put it all together. And then the subconscious absorbed all of this. And when it absorbed all of this, it formed the letter cat. Okay, and this is it. So this is what you do. It's a cat. It's a cat. Okay. So that's how you put the word together in the form of a cat. Okay, and then they put the picture. Then they showed you what is the picture of a cat, and then you saw a live cat, and then perhaps a cartoon kind of picture of a cat, and then so you could put the association together. And the subconscious mind was absorbing all of these things, and it put the program in place for you to be able to read. And so you took each word and you grew from one word to another, until eventually you can put a whole sentence together. And then from that, it now enabled you to put a paragraph together. And then from that, it grew and you could put a page together, and then you could write stories, and then you could send SMSs to everybody, and so on and so on. And all that we did was use the subconscious mind programming ability. That's all. Okay, now to learn the feelings dictionary, this is how we're going to use the same process, okay, the subconscious mind, but it is that we're going to do it slightly differently. So we're going to work with the word disappoint. So writing the word disappoint at the top of your page. So this is your page, right at the top of your page, right there, the word disappoint. Okay, and keep the whole page for just this bit. And when you do another word, then you turn over the thing and you put on the top of that page your new thing. Because what's going to happen is that as you start to work with the feelings dictionary, as you start to develop your understanding, it is that you're going to have a understanding of a particular word that's going to be broad like that. But as you work with more and more words and more feelings, and the feelings start coming closer and closer to each other, then you're going to see that your definition and understanding of each feeling is going to become smaller and smaller and sharper and sharper. Okay? And as it becomes smaller and smaller and sharper, you're going to see by the time you get to word 30, you've already grown so much in your feelings that you're going to look at what you started off with and you say, actually, I need to redo that one, okay? Because my feelings, standing in things has grown so much that I need to go back and redo that. And if I redo that, then it means that my feelings and my understanding of feelings in me has sharpened. And that's the thing that I'm after. Okay, so the more you do these feelings, the more it is that you're going to understand it. Okay, so we look up the feeling in a good dictionary, and that explains it well, or use a good internet site, and there are some wonderful dictionaries. So we get a definition of theirs, and the word disappoint, and there are 3 different definitions, or 2 really. So the first one is to fail to meet the expectations or the hopes, etc., of somebody or some event or something. Okay, one thing. And the second one is to prevent the fulfillment of a plan or to frustrate the plan, to disappoint the fulfillment of this plan. Okay, one thing. So to give you some kind of explanation. So what did I do? Sorry. So to take the first one, to fail to meet the expectations or the hopes, etc., of somebody. So this is where it is that you write 4 or little 5 lines about that. And then you go to the next definition, and below that you write another 4 or 5 lines just about that one. Okay, I'm saying. So to give you an example of what it means. Now, perhaps I should just explain that as you are writing this little definition or this little story down, when it is that you're writing the failure to meet somebody's expectation and you're writing the story down, it's going to generate a feeling in your body. And when you generate this feeling in your body from the subconscious mind, you've got, this is the word, the feeling word is to disappoint, and this is the definition to disappoint, the failure to meet somebody's. So as you're writing this down, it's going to generate a specific kind of feeling in your body. Okay, and then you go on to the next one, and it'll generate a slightly different kind of feeling that's in your body. Okay, and the thing.
So you're going to keep rewriting it.
Sorry?
Yes. I feel if you're going to write it down in a definition and try and write a little story of how you, when in your life you maybe feel that feeling. And as you grow and go on, you go back to, say, the first one of disappoint, and you're going to rewrite it because you can understand it more, and then you're going to have a better understanding, and then it's going to be a more powerful understanding, and then you're going to rewrite it. Oh no, that sounds stupid. I think I must rewrite it. This is more. I can see where it's there.
Yeah, exactly this. Okay, so sorry. Yeah, the door is just opened by itself. It's a real nuisance, and the wind is blowing. And if I don't do something about it, it's going to interfere all the time. Okay. So. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we're going to do this, and thank you for that, Chanel. Now we're going to do this and we're going to take each word, okay, on the thing. Now, this is an added thing that we need to do for ourselves. So it is, we're now going to write a little story about when it is we did it to somebody outside of ourselves. Okay, so I failed to meet some or other expectation of Chanel. Okay, and I'll write a little story about that. And then it is I need to do now the same definition on myself. When did I fail to meet? Sorry?
Okay, I don't understand. We're going to take the feeling, we're going to have a dictionary for the definition, and then try and think of a few sentences where you think it happened in your life, like not like how I would say it to you in a sentence, why I was disappointed. But I don't understand where you're coming from saying outside.
Yes. Okay. So now, so now this is the next layer, and the layer is that when I am writing this definition, I need to write this definition. I write a story about this definition when I did it to somebody.
Oh, okay.
When I did it to somebody. Okay, so that's what I mean by external to myself. Okay, now the next one is the same definition. When did I do it to me? When did I disappoint me? Okay, one thing. So let me give you an example of something that I did. Okay, so the first example of definition number one, the failure to meet the expectations, hopes, etc. of something. Okay, so this is now me and external. Okay, this is me to somebody. So Mary had such high hopes of establishing a relationship with me, and she really went out of her way to make things flow between us, such as arranging special meetings, meals, and would contact me when it was most suitable to me. I was, however, unable to respond to her in the appropriate way, as I was so involved with my own internal drama that I could not see or even appreciate her efforts, let alone express to her and acknowledge to her how she felt about putting all her effort into the relationship and to how much trouble she went to. I did really disappoint her, and I'm sorry. So that's an example of somebody on the outside of me. Okay, one thing. So now the inside to me. As an example, so I had the opportunity to apply for a job within a company. I thought that I would really like to work for them. Because I did not think that I was good enough, I did not do the necessary paperwork. And as a result, the vacant position was filled by someone else. When I heard that, I felt I have disappointed myself yet again. Okay, does that now make it clear? Yay! Okay, so the next one. Okay, another thing. Now, can you imagine doing this with your partner? Okay, and as you exchange different kinds of stories between you and your partner, how it is it will deepen your understanding of you and your partner on so many different ways. You will get to understand them completely, much, much deeper. And you'll get to really appreciate this person because you really understand them. And this takes you to the part of the feelings, is that as the two feelings of you engage more and more. Okay, so let's say that you were just starting out in your relationship and you had this ability to interact with somebody. Then it is that right in the beginning, your relationship and your exchange would be heartfelt. And then over a period of time, as you do this more and more, then it starts to take on, it takes on a sort of meaningful kind of interaction, okay? Or it becomes heartfelt kind of interaction. And then as this goes further and further, and this whole thing now becomes a really meaningful relationship in your life, then, then what happens is that the feelings exchange between the two of you leads to, and this is an automatic thing that happens, leads to a deep trust that it develops between you and your partner. And then from that deep trust automatically then starts to flow love. Okay, one thing. And this is the way that you do it. And this is how that you do it. Now, the first definition wasn't hard. So let's do the second one. So the second definition means to prevent the fulfillment of maybe a plan, or to frustrate something, or to, something else. So on the external basis with somebody that I did, okay, I did not have the money or the time to build a tree house for my son. Every time we spoke about the building of the tree house, I would redirect the conversation to something else. This worked well for a while until my son realized that I was not going to build a tree house for him, as I did not have all the money needed. He accused me of trying to frustrate the building of the tree house, when indeed I did have a portion of the money needed to start building the tree house. He was right about that. We then planned to build it in stages as money allowed it. I was not open and honest with him about building the tree house. I did not tell him how I was feeling and the pressure that I had, nor was I even acknowledging his feelings about it. When we finally spoke and started to build it, everything became fun. I had expressed how I felt, and he accepted that. And in turn, we agreed on a plan together. See what happens when you express your feelings. Okay, so now internally to me on the same one, okay, about frustrating some other plan. So my friend John was struggling in his business about the finances and could not understand what was going wrong. He was doing well, yet he did not have money. This is an area that I understand well. Every time we planned to meet to discuss the plans and prospects of his business, something came up. I had to cancel the meeting. This happened 4 times. Eventually, John found another consultant to work with and has solved his problems. I feel that I had really disappointed him. Okay, so now that covers the 2 aspects of the word definition. Okay, so now you would have developed 4 slightly different feelings around the word disappoint, but you have a good grasp of what. But you now have a good grasp of what disappoint means. Okay, in the process, you would have anchored this feeling and the word, the label for it within you through your subconscious mind. Okay, it will take that in. Remember that this subconscious mind would take it all in. So the next time when you have this feeling in your body, you will be able to attach a label to it and then be able to express it to somebody in your conversation.
Okay.
Okay, on thing. Right. So, for instance, in the definition 1, I could have said to Mary, I can see how much effort you are wanting to put into the relationship, and I really appreciate it. Right now, I am completely unable to respond to you in the way that you want. I am stuck in my own internal drama, and I am unable to accommodate you in the same way right now. And I appreciate you and thank you, but I'm unable to do it right now. Maybe in some time in the future, I can then do it. Okay? And that would have been, she would then have fully understood what is going on with me. Okay? One thing. So, for instance, in the second definition, I could have said to John, I am under a lot of pressure right now, and I would really like to help you. You are my friend, and you are important to me. I do not want to disappoint you in this regard. Could I ask you to contact another consultant to help you? When I have time, we can discuss his views, and then I could give you mine. And that way you can extract the best from two different points of view to your advantage. How would that be for you? You see? Okay, what happens when it is that you explain your thing? Okay. For me to have said either of these things above, I would have to know what the feelings are on the inside of me that arose at the time of interaction. Knowing this, I would be in a space to be able to express them. If I just had the feeling, but I did not know what they were, I would have reacted in a different way, as shown in the examples that I've just placed here. Okay? You can, of course, try to write down how you would express your feelings now that you understand it, after having written down the exercise, if you wish. It would enable you to see it and express it from a different point of view. You need to practice expressing your feelings as illustrated above, as often as possible. Okay, it will always help you. It will be the most important thing that you can do for yourself. A mastery of feelings is essential in the expression of your boundaries. You need to be able to know what you are feeling to be able to put a proper boundary in place. This exercise will help you hugely on there. So boundaries and boundary setting, using and expressing our feelings, is extremely powerful and highly effective. But we must understand our feelings, and only then can we progress into boundary setting, using your feelings and expressing your feelings in the process. Okay, so now we can move on. So in table 1, I've got words like love, happy, sad, joy, shame, scared, frightened, nervous, worried, excited, disappointed, hurt, ashamed, glad, good, embarrassed, bad, unhappy, anger, guilt, abandoned, neglected, isolated. So that's table one, okay, on the thing. So starting off with is that, you know, in the previous video that we did, where it is that we spoke about love, well, we can use the definitions of this thing there when it is that we talk about love. And this is done with a specific intention to get you to see that love is a feeling and you feel it in your heart. It is from here that you can have the heart-to-heart connection with others. You get to feel what love is and what it is not. And this is often very revealing in what you thought love is. Do explore this one deeply. Okay, so the next level of feelings requires a bit more of a advanced feeling knowledge. In building your feeling dictionary, practice these feelings more and more. When you feel that you are proficient at it, or proficient with them, then you can move on to the next level. Please remember that this is not a race. Okay, take your time. It's a whole new world that's waiting for you out there. And it's a whole new world that's waiting for you and your interaction in your relationships everywhere, not only with your romantic partner, but with your children, with your siblings, with your parents, with your everybody around you. Okay, it's not a race. Best get to know the feelings dictionary very well. You will never look back. Okay, anybody that is a successful CEO of a company, the only reason they can really do well in that company because they understood their feelings and they understand the feelings of their staff and be able to relate to them on that feelings level. If you just go into a company and you just operate technically, just from here, people won't feel connected to you. Okay, so in order for you to do well in any kind of enterprise and thing, having a good knowledge about feelings and the feelings dictionary will be something that will propel you to levels that you never thought possible. This is why it is doing this exercise is the best thing that you can do for you. Taking this thing a little bit further, okay? Our interaction using our newly acquired skills allows us to get to the heart of the matter with others. Okay? We can get to what is the feeling that's really driving you to do this. We can have this heart-to-heart connection with those around us. When this happens, people say about us, you know, Chanel, she's such a lovely person. She knows exactly how I feel. Say, you know, when they say lovely, what do they mean by lovely? Because they can feel this heart-to-heart connection between you and them. Okay, it's not a romantic love, it's a heart connection love. Okay, and when they feel this love, okay, and it's not romantic, okay, but it works best and it gets the results that it is that you need. And the interaction when we operate from this heartfelt space, they feel it and they want to respond to you from this same space. They can't help it, as we are all hardwired up this way. And we all want to feel that heart-to-heart connection. When you can do this, you will never look back and you will never struggle again in your life. Never. Okay, so in table 2, you will have done some of the words already, but now they are surrounded by others explaining different aspects of each section. This is designed to get you to understand the interaction of feelings related to a specific topic and to expand this further within you. Okay, so I've got this thing. So there are, in table 2, there are intense positive feelings, there are strong positive feelings, there are moderate positive feelings, there are mild positive feelings, then there are negative feelings in the same category. Okay, other thing. This list that I've just given you contains the more descriptive feelings below, and in the next table they're all in capital letters. Okay, so in the capital letters are the ones that it is that like it's got anger and then different kinds of things under anger to describe it. And so it is that this now becomes a really deep understanding of feelings. Okay, now what happens is that as you grow all of these feelings and you start to see the interconnection of feelings, now you get to a stage that you can start to reason with your feelings. And you can reason that you go from this feeling, then to that feeling, and then to that feeling, and then down to that feeling. Okay, and this is why it is that when I'm able to interact with clients on there, that we start with a feeling and we say, well, is it this kind of feeling? And if it's this kind of feeling, then it relates to this kind of feeling, and then it relates to another kind of feeling. So if you look at the session, Chanel, that we did yesterday, how it is that I started with one kind of feeling and how it is that you say, okay, so this is what you were feeling, and then this led to this, and then this led to that, and then so on and so on. Okay, the same kind of thing. When you can reason with feelings, and then it is you be able to get to the heart of the matter with everybody easily and effortlessly. And that, my dear, brings us to the end. Okay, so for instance, is that where I talk about the things in capital letters. So when we talk about, say, happiness, okay, and the different kinds of ways of expressing happiness. Well, it's great, or it's gay, or it's joyous, or it's lucky, or it's fortunate, or it's delighted, or overjoyed, or gleeful, or thankful, or important, or festive, okay, ecstatic, satisfied, glad, cheerful, sunny, merry, okay. All of those are different ways of expressing happiness. Do you look confused?
I'm taking in a lot, and
okay.
Come on, wait to stop.
All right. So this is the structure. This is the way that developing the feelings dictionary in you works. It requires that you just do a little bit every day. Okay. Of course, you can put in, if you want to do, you can put in an hour every day if you like. Okay, but I don't want it to ever be a burden. I just want it to be something that it is that you do every day, and in your interactions with people, you say, well, this is the word I'm working for today, and I'm working on today. And if I'm working on this today, then you ask the universe to help you to say, well, this is the word I'm working on today, and this word means disappoint. And it is I need to bring, or ask the universe to help you to bring kinds of situations to you so that you can understand. What does it mean? Disappoint around this and this and that and that. Okay, one thing. And they will do it. And then you can have fun with the universe, and you're going to have fun with different people in the office, or different people in your practice, or different people that you interact with, or whatever it is. Make it part of your day. Don't make it a burden thing. Okay, this is something, as I said earlier on when I started off, if you put effort into this, to the degree that you put effort into it, it becomes an exponential return of effort back to you in the response, in the way that it works in your life. Because feelings is one half of us. This is the feminine side in us. This is the side that we really, really need to grow. If everybody on the planet grew this side of them, and they grew to understand them and their feelings, we would not have the violence that we have on the planet. We would not have war. We would not have the abuse. We would not have many things that are around us, because we would understand each other's feelings, and we would understand that if I behave this way to that person, that is how they are going to feel, and I don't want to impact on them in a negative way. And that's the way that we change the world, one feeling and one person at a time. And for that, Chanel, I'd like to thank you for listening. I'd like to thank you for taking and working with me through all of the feelings things up to date. And this brings to us the end of the feelings chapter.
Thanks, Peter.
The next chapter for us to work on is the thing about balancing now the masculine energy. This is our power, and we've spoken extensively about our power and our side. Okay, and now we got to get our feeling side and our power side to start interacting. But we need to grow this side, and we need to grow this side, and so that these two can now balance on the inside of us. And once they balance on the inside of us, you become a balanced human being. And that exercise, as we go through that, you will learn so much about how it is the expression of feelings balances power, and a powerless person really, really struggles in many different ways. And you'll learn the importance of being in your power and the importance of having developed your feelings. It's a very, very interesting process, and it's a necessary process. But this on the feelings is one of the major building blocks that you need to have in you. Please work with it. We want to change the world, one feeling at a time, one person at a time. And with that, Chanel, I say thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure, my darling. Thank you for everything that we have worked through so far. It's been a pleasure working with you. And we shall then meet again in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye.
All right then.